Hello everyone, it's Nen from Insightful Vibrations. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel, and if you have, thank you so much. I also would appreciate you liking and sharing this video if you see it fit to do so. So this is your forecast for the week of June 5th to 11th, 2017. And we will begin first with astrology and some cards for everyone. And then we will continue with your particular zodiac sign. So what's happening in astrology? Well, this is a great week in one sense because we have Jupiter coming out of retrograde motion on June 9th. But on the same day, we have a full moon in Sagittarius at 18 degrees. So let's ferret through this information and see what kind of energies we may expect to have to deal with. Full moons, as usual, represent some kind of culmination, a culmination of events that occurred usually on the preceding new moon. And this time we're looking at what occurred on the new moon of May 25th. And so the same issues may have to be dealt with again and processed within the 2 weeks that follow this full moon of June 9th. Just to give you some indication, there may be a battle of polarities here. You know, women versus men, mother versus father, male versus female, however you wish to word it. These can result in general discord or in some pretty hot and heavy arguments. So in addition to that, we also have a lot of emotionality and some, pretty intense feelings. We have the moon squaring Neptune, which can lead to some moodiness generally. And then for some, maybe a feeling of sadness or even a feeling of confusion that there's not enough clarity in the issues that were brought up at the time of the full moon once again. And with the moon also in a conjunction aspect with Saturn, there may be feelings of insecurity and indecision to deal with. Then we have Jupiter turning direct in Libra on the same day, June 9th, and Jupiter is aligned with the star set Vendemiatrix. This star is also known as the star of the widowhood. Don't let this scare you. It could pose for some separation from people with their partners through either fate or circumstances. But it could also mean a physical separation, such as working or living at greater distances. It could mean something more difficult, such as the ending of a relationship through separation or otherwise. It does not have to mean separation by death. It does not have to be a permanent separation, but it can be. And with the grand trine with Saturn, Uranus, and the North Node working together to smooth things over a little bit, on the same day we can look at new ways to contribute to humanity. And this might serve as a good distraction for everything else that's going on, because we are going to have to ferret through some relationship issues. I've looked at the Arabic parts as well. Those are calculated parts in astrology. And basically we have some amazing aspects that are actually confirmed by these cards that I drew from the Lenormand Gilded Reverie deck. And these cards I drew, of course, for everyone. The main card, which is the Ring, card number 25, is also the Ace of Clubs. And this basically is a card that talks about new contracts, new commitments, bringing things into a fresh start mode, really accelerating things. And I really like the freshness of this ring, and I think that'll characterize, the period of June the 5th to 11th quite nicely. There will be a lot of opportunities, especially in business or for other money-making ventures. But we also have the female number 29, or woman, and she also represents the Ace of Spades. And of course this also can represent some issues with contracts with women or commitments with women, but the woman does not necessarily have to be a woman. It could represent people in this general sense as well. And of course this could mean a little bit of discord with the Ace of Spades there. Then we have the Fishes, and number 34 is also the King of Diamonds. And the King of Diamonds can represent a person who is an earth sign, someone who's very stable and sincere, someone who's very you know, a good confidant, let's say. And the fishes also represent abundance, and also, you know, an abundance of opportunity for business or commercial transactions. So there seems to be a lot of activity, and one could also think that there may be a lot of fish in the sea in terms of dating opportunities as well. But let's not get carried away, because we also have card number 7, the snake, which also represents the Queen of clubs. And the snake cautions us, because the snake is talking about, you know, some kind of competition or rivalry. Sometimes it can mean outright sabotage. Sometimes it can mean dishonest behavior, complications, indecision, as I mentioned from the astrology, and sometimes even trickery. So if you're out and about this week in all aspects of life, I would caution you to really, you know, watch for cues or clues as to any of those kinds of things, where if something doesn't feel right, maybe it isn't. Maybe just be careful about committing to something or someone if you're not sure. And for this reason as well, there may be some revelation of betrayal or rivalry, and that may cause relationships or business sort of arrangements to falter as well. So we do need to take some extra precautions in this sense. But what the Arabic parts are saying is exactly that, that there's a lot of good business opportunities, especially for sales or striking new deals in commerce. And there's also a lot of opportunities for forming new bonds. So even though the full moon is more about, you know, endings sometimes, it also can bring to fruition something that you want to complete, which is a very important part of the full moon energies. And if you were thinking of asking someone to marry you or solidifying a relationship in some other way, this is an excellent week to do that, because whatever doesn't work, trust me, it won't work on the night of the full moon, but whatever is worth saving will also be worth committing to. I'd just like to caution all of us as well that there may be some danger around this week. And part of that seems to be danger from trickery, danger from earth sort of events. So, you know, cataclysmic earth events, earthquakes, windstorms, like tornadoes, cyclones, hurricanes, that kind of thing. And of course, because I'm gleaning this from the Arabic parts and also looking at the fixed stars as well, this applies to all of us on the planet Earth as well. So I haven't done a detailed analysis of what parts will be affected, but there is a lot of earth movement or earth changes or weather events, that kind of thing. And there's also potential for a lot of aggression as well this week. So do take care wherever you are. Always sort of, you know, be very extra vigilant in this day and age, and all should be well. So let's move on to your individual zodiac sign forecast. So this is what the cards have to say for all you Aquarian, sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign folks. Aquarius, you have a really nice fresh start this week. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful energy with the clover, the tree, and the storks there. So whatever, you know, last week felt like, this week will feel completely different. There may be some new starts in your family. Perhaps a child is getting married or has just gotten married, and there's some, you know, adjustment in your thinking or adjustment in where you're living or how you're living or how they're living. So there may be some things like that that are happening this week. But I also feel that you may be also in the mood to move on with your life. And for a lot of you, this means, you know, becoming a family with someone you are fond of or someone you love or a good friend, or it doesn't even have to be as romantic as just that friendly family feeling. And Aquarius, nobody loves friends more than you do. So I think that would definitely fit with what you would like. I also feel that there's no lack of passion here. This is a very good week for potential for a creative relationship, one that has freshness to it, one that has the ability to grow and really please everyone. I also feel that for those of you who have children in your life, that you really need to keep an eye on them at school, particularly that they may experience some theft. Maybe their lunch is stolen or their allowance is stolen, or just be careful of your children. Even be vigilant that they're not near any strangers. I'm not getting a good vibe out of this card for some of you. Of course, this is a general reading, so I don't want everyone to be concerned about their child being kidnapped or anything like that, but I don't like the juxtaposition of the child, the school, and the fox there whatsoever, especially with the storks on the other end suggesting a child might be moving. So please, especially if it's a female child, do take care. I also feel that we can look at these cards another way, and that is that there may be a neighbor who is there to maybe look over your child or look after them or something when you're not able to do that. I also feel for those of you who are in the child care business that you're earning income from watching children, that you really need to be extra vigilant and make sure you're complying with regulatory issues. So no sort of illegal daycares in your home and that kind of thing. Make sure the food is fresh, that the lighting is appropriate, that the children have time outdoors and things like that. So I do feel that you'll be required to do more this week and make sure that you're in compliance, because for some of you there may be a surprise inspection coming up as well, or maybe somebody in the neighborhood is taking a keen interest in what you're doing, has invited the authorities to have a peek or to sort of do some audits. So that's just a careful thing where there may be some clandestine action going on here. I also feel for some of you who are engaged in creative endeavors such as writing, building up a theme of some kind, that you need to watch for competitors stealing your ideas. So really make sure you go out and get that copyright or that patent, because this week has the potential for someone taking your information, using it for their own gain. And Aquarians, we know you're out of the box and way out there thinkers, so there's no reason why your ideas should not benefit you as you're coming up with them. So do take care that you monitor those kinds of things. For those of you who have, an elderly parent, you may find that you may be placing your parent or looking to place your parent in, a group home or some kind of a senior's residence or nursing home or that kind of thing. I do feel that that's, not inappropriate, but it may happen for some of you, and it may be difficult. It may be a difficult adjustment if that's what's happening for you this week. But I do feel that they will, benefit from what is happening. So I do feel that with all due diligence, you will find the right place if that's the situation that you're facing. And for those of you who are into the metaphysical, reading cards, interpreting astrology, numerology, etc., I think you're going to have a very lucrative week. You may even write a book or a blog that will be particularly captivating and that will bring some fresh business to you, that may even be calling you away to do some travel and maybe make a presentation elsewhere or do your readings or energy healings elsewhere as well. So this should be a great week. Enjoy it.